You lost good. Wow.
How'd you get here?
Have you ever really looked at sheet music? Not listening to music, not playing it. Like, look at the notation on the page, black dots on lines, stems, flags, rests, dynamic markings, all kinds of things. If you can read music, even if you're totally fluent, you don't really see a description of sound. You're looking at a set of instructions that, when executed well, produce particular sound. The score doesn't tell you what the music sounds like. It tells you what to do to bring it into existence. This is a completely different kind of sign than the ones you normally think about, and understanding the difference here opens up one of the most practically useful concepts I may ever go over. Most of the signs you encounter every day, they're going to fall in three categories. Intuitively, you probably recognize all of them. Some signs represent. The word tree represents a tree. It stands in for the thing. You read the words, you think of the thing. This is a symbolic signification relationship, the relationship between the sign and what it points to. It's conventional. There's nothing tree-like about the word tree. It doesn't look like it. We just agreed this sequence of sounds points to that object. Other signs resemble. A photograph of a tree, an emoji, looks like a tree. Portrait looks like its subject. A map of a city is going to resemble that city's layout. These are iconic. The sign shares some visual or structural feature with what it is pointing to. Oh yeah, some signs point. Smoke, for example, means fire. A footprint means someone walked here. A fever means infection. These are indexicals, a sign causally connected to the thing that it indicates. It doesn't represent or resemble the thing, it's a trace of it. Now, all three of these share something in common. They refer to a thing that exists. The word tree refers to trees. Photographs capture the scene. The smoke indicates an existing fire. The sign follows reality. First thing, then sign. It's seemingly the way that cognition has to work, right? No, actually. Instead, what if we started in the opposite direction with a diagram? A diagram reverses this. A diagram doesn't represent, it doesn't resemble, it doesn't point to existing states of affairs or things. A diagram operates. It assembles functional relations that produce something new. Go back to that musical score. The score, it's a picture, but not a picture of sound. It's not even a description of sound. It's not even a symbolic representation of sound in a way that the word loud represents what loudness is. The score is really a set of operations. Do this with your fingers at this time, at this intensity, and when executed, it'll produce a reality that did not exist before that execution. Sound isn't hiding in the score the way you might hide a message in code. The sound is produced by the score, the way a building is produced by blueprints. An architectural blueprint works like this. It doesn't really describe a building. It doesn't look like a building. It has lines and measurements and dimensions and all of that. It's assembling a set of relationships between materials, forces, spaces, functions that, when constructed, produce a building. The blueprint is prior to the building. The sign comes before reality. Recipes work this way too, not the kind that says it should look like this. That's iconic. The kind that says combine these things in this order at this temperature for duration. A recipe doesn't combine a dish, right? It's not describing that. It's producing one. Computer code, yeah, It's probably the most explicit. I mean, there's no computer code that is what you're seeing right now, after all. And this matters because most of the systems that organize your life and mine operate on the first three kinds of signs: representation, resemblance, and indication. All three of them can only process things that already exist. It's a system that's built on categorical things. It ranks them, it compares them. A system built on resemblance. It's a model for existing structures. A system that's built on indices can detect states, track them, and predict them. None of these produce something new because all of them refer to something that's already there. The diagram, it's a sign type that produces new, not new like a novel combination of existing elements. That's still representational. New in the sense of sheet music and music. The thing that results from executing the diagram that didn't exist in any form before it was executed. Think about the difference in city planning, where you draw it by looking at an existing city and adjusting, versus a city plan that's drawn from functional requirements. We need this many people to move from here to there throughout the day every hour, this much water to flow from this point to this point, this much light has to reach this surface. The first kind is a representational sign, that modifies what already exists. The second, well, that's a diagram that assembles functional relationships and produces a space that didn't previously exist at all. Both are drawn on paper, both use lines and measurements, but they operate on fundamentally different registers. Most of you probably, though, aren't city planners, and no, video games don't count, unless it's Dwarf Fortress. So let's go through this in a way that everyone should be able to wrap their heads around. Cooking. I know you're shocked. A cookbook that says traditional French onion soup and gives you a recipe that produces that known dish. It's operating iconically. The recipe is pointing back to this existing thing and helping you replicate that. The sign refers to reality that preceded it. This works for people needing to make soup. But if you want to learn how to make soup, that requires a different type of instruction entirely. Not a recipe for a known dish, but a technique for generating dishes. Something like, take any allium, apply slow heat until the sugars break down. Now you pair that with a fat that matches the intensity of the allium you've chosen. Add an acid at a ratio that creates tension without overwhelming the sweetness and sugars that are being generated. Serve this on a base that absorbs liquid without dissolving itself. This you might call the science of cooking, modernist cuisine. Well, it's about learning systems, about how we generate more things in the future. It's not a recipe for anything specific. It's a diagram. It assembles functional relationships, sugar conversion, fat pairing, acid tension, textural absorption, and even gets into how particular species and related elements to the onion can be used pretty well here. And all of these produce different results depending on what materials you feed into the process. You start with onions and butter, you will get something like French onion soup. You will. If you start with leeks and duck fat, you get something else entirely. Start with ramps and olive oil, you're going to get something that's never existed before, but probably works because the functional relationships are sound. The diagram doesn't predict its outputs. That's kind of the key here. It establishes relationships. The relationships produce results that depend on the things that enter into them. The diagram is generative. It's not reproductive. This understanding is not really culinary only. This is a political thing. Most institutional design, well, it works representationally. You're going to look at existing institutions. You're going to say, well, this is wrong, and we're going to propose modifications. That's reform. You take an existing arrangement and adjust it. The sign, the reform proposal, refers back to what already exists and tries to improve. There's a big problem with representational institutional design, and that's that it can only produce variations of what's already there. It's operating within a set of arrangements. It's shuffling elements around. We need more funding here, different regulations here, a new agency with a ruling function here. Every modification, sure, it's real, but the form, the overall logic of how the institutions relate to each other and within itself, that's not changing. You're adjusting a recipe. You're not changing a technique. Diagrammatic institutional design works very, very differently. Instead of asking, how do we fix this institution? You start at the basics. What functional relationships need to hold for people to do X? X might be produce food locally, might be educate without standardized ranking, might be distribute resources without a market mechanism, or fucking anything else that requires a structure that doesn't currently exist. There's a lot of things that do that. The diagram doesn't describe the institution that would result. It specifies relationships that need to hold. The institution gets built by assembling materials that satisfy those relationships. Different materials produce different institutions. Diagram is the same. The results vary depending on context, material conditions. What worked in one place produces something very different in another place because the material conditions, the people, resources, history, constraints, weather are different. The functional relationships, they hold. This is why a diagram can produce something genuinely new. It never copies. It never modifies. It arranges. And what it assembles and arranges, well, that depends on what's available. Which means the output is responsive to conditions in a way representational design simply cannot be. You might remember that an axiomatic system captures everything as quantitative relations. I did a video on it a few days ago. Go click. It measures, it compares, they rank, they exchange. Everything that enters the axiomatic has to be representable, has to be convertible into a form that the system can process and equate. If it can't be represented, it can't be captured. It doesn't get brought in. A diagram produces what's not representable, not because it's hidden, not because it's encrypted or secret, but because the diagram operates on function, not representation. The output of a diagram, the building, the sound from music, the dish from restaurant, the institution, exists as a concrete reality, not as a set of measurements. It has qualities, not just quantities. It occupies space in the world, not just positions in a ranking. The axiomatic can capture a diagram's output after the fact. Measure it, price it, rank it, compare it. But it can't capture the diagram itself. It's because the diagram doesn't represent things. It's producing things, and production that isn't reproduction. It's making something genuinely new rather than a variation of some other existing shit, is what the axiomatic can't anticipate, model, and prevent. Only respond to after something's already there. So whenever you're stuck in a project, an institution, in a life, the available options all feel like variations of the same thing. Simply ask, am I working representationally? Am I looking at what exists and trying to mold it to me? Because representational thinking will only ever produce shuffled variations. We need something that doesn't yet exist. You need a diagram. You need to figure out that functional set of relationships that, when executed with materials you have on hand, produces something the existing system didn't contain before. I'm not being abstract. A community workshop where people build furniture, well, that's not copying existing furniture design or rebelling against it. It's like assembling functional relationships. You've got these tools, these materials, this warehouse, these people's skills, this need. What comes out is responsive to those specific conditions. A school that organizes learning around questions rather than subjects isn't reforming the existing model. It's diagramming. Like, what functional relationships need to hold for someone to learn this? It's a different answer. It's a different institution. The diagram is a countermove to a system that can only see what is representable. This is again not because the diagram hides from the system. It doesn't. It operates on a plane the system simply isn't built for. A plane of function, not representation, of production, not circulation, of the new rather than the exchangeable. And you don't need permission to ever build a diagram. You just need materials, relationships, and the willingness to produce something that doesn't have an equivalent. That last part, that's the hard one. The whole system is designed to make you think in equivalences. The diagram, well, the diagram asks you to stop.
I could run through these halls forever if you like. Be trapped in this mall together if you like. I'd love to explore the corners if you like. The music plays so loud, guiding me where I go. In this vibrant crowd, do you feel it too though? Maybe I'm just here